Okay, welcome to a short video on how to use the quadratic formula. We're just going to basically go through the quadratic formula, a couple examples, about 3 of them, and then we're going to try to figure, just as we go along, we're going to talk about some of the things that you need to watch for as you go along. Okay, first, a quadratic will usually be in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. I've made these colors here because the quadratic formula is just a formula. If we can get it into this form, we can plug those numbers in to the right places, use our order of operations to just simplify and solve it, and we will be able to find the real solutions to this problem. Okay, so here's the formula. I've left holes here. The black part of it stays the same every time. In other words, there's always going to be a negative out in front of whatever value goes here. You're always going to square what's here. You're always going to multiply these two by 4 and multiply that one by 2. So let's start by putting in the letters where they go. Our variable for a will go here and here. Our variable for b will go here and here. And our variable for c goes in here. And as one of my students this year like to remember it, goes, I just remember it as BBACA. And that may help you if you're just kind of singing along. BBACA can help you do that. Okay, so here's what we need to do. When we're using the quadratic formula, we need to get it into the correct form. It needs to be ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. You don't want to have anything on this other side that you want it to be 0. Then we need to identify what the value of a, b, and c are. And you always take the sign that's on the left-hand side of the number with it. And then we want to plug it into the formula, simplify, and solve. This is probably the hard part. After you get these first two down, this is usually the hardest part because there's a lot of order of operations that you have to remember. We'll go over a sheet that I hope helps you with that during this review. Okay, one of the most confusing symbols in the quadratic formula is right here, plus and minus. This is a shorthand in mathematics and algebra to show you that this is actually two different problems. Okay, this is 7 plus 3, and it is 7 minus 3. That just tells you that one time you're going to add and one time you're going to subtract. So 7 plus 3, of course, would mean x equals 10. The other one would mean x equals 4. And so you actually have two answers when you have this. Sometimes you can just have one, but you'll see when that happens. Okay, made this worksheet up in class. You probably can't read it on here, but it basically will show us step by step what we need to do. Okay, the first step, here's the problem we're going to work. I wrote it in right here, and it says to basically make sure it's in the right form. It looks like this one's in the right form, and so I'm going to enter my numbers where they need to go. Okay, the a value I can tell is 3. The b is 7, and c is going to be -6. If I put those over here, I do this just to kind of help you kind of keep track of the numbers you're going to use. Notice that c was -6. I put -6. This is another way of writing it so that you'll remember that that is going to go into all the places in the formula as -6. Now, in our formula, I've written it out like we did before. If you can read that, BBACA. Let's go ahead and put our numbers in. First one is a B, and looking up at my chart, I know that B's are 7. So I'm going to put a 7 there and a 7 there. The next one is A and C. A is 3, goes there and there, and C is -6. Now, if you're really good at dealing with square roots and powers and all those kind of things, then this won't be that bad, because it's just basically simplifying. But I've drawn 3 circles on here to help you kind of realize the first 3 areas you're going to simplify. You're going to simplify this, you'll simplify what's under the square root, and you'll simplify this. This just makes it sound harder than it really is. If you know your order of operations, you know how to just basically go ahead and do this. Okay, so if I look at this first one, the opposite or the negative of 7 is just going to be 7. So it's going to have 7 go there. Okay, under here I have 7 squared, so I'm going to put that in here. And I like to put them in parentheses just because minus 4, because if you have a negative there, sometimes you'll get the wrong answer on calculators if you don't put the parentheses around the value you're plugging in. So this is basically what we have there. 7 squared times, or minus 4 times 3 times negative 6. That gives me a value of 121. So that value is going to go here. Okay, the bottom is easy. 2 times 3 is just 6. Now I know this is going to split into 2 problems now, but first I'm going to simplify the square root if I can. The square root of 121, let's see, is 11. So I'm just going to rewrite this as 7 plus or minus 11 over 6. Splits into 2 problems, 7 plus 11 over 6 and 7 minus 11 over 6. 7 plus 11 is 18 over 6. Bottom didn't change. 7 minus 11 is negative 4 over 6. And now I can reduce this. 18 divided by 6 is 3. And negative 4 over 6 will just reduce to negative 2/3. So I have my first answer, set of answers, 3 and negative 2/3. Remember, these are the solutions to the quadratic that we could get, this quadratic that we could get by factoring or graphing. This is just a method that works in some other situations where the numbers aren't nice. Okay, I'm going to do this one. Okay. I'm going to do three things at the same time on this one. Okay, x squared doesn't have a number on it, so it must be, oh, it's in the right form. So a is 1. Okay. B is 7. And C is a positive 5. This is a pretty straightforward and fairly easy example. Let's see what we get when we multiply these out. Let's see, simplify that region, we get negative 7. Simplify the bottom, we get 2. And then let's do this part under here real quick. Seven squared minus 4 times 1 times 5. Check it real quick. Good. That's 29. Okay. Okay. And negative 7, and the square root of 29 is not going to be a real pretty number, but it'll work okay. It's about 5.39 is what I'm going to use. Okay, so this breaks into 2 problems, negative 7 plus 5.39 divided by 2, and negative 7 minus 5.39 divided by 2. Okay, negative 7 plus 5.39. What does that give me? Is negative 1.61 divided by 2. Negative 8.05. Okay, the other side now. Negative 7 minus 5.39 is negative 12.39 divided by 2. Negative 6.195. Now, if you have a negative number under the square root, you won't be able to do it. Okay? This is the last example. I'm not going to work it out. I just want to show you one thing on it. It's in the wrong form, so that way you get in the right form. Just use your regular algebra. That'll give me a 0 over there, and make it 6x squared minus 8x plus 1. And so I know my A is 6, my B is a negative 8, and my C is 1. There you go.